Hey guys, COMPUTEROSIS here. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix in HD. And, you know, it's been a while since I've given tips and advice of how to do certain things during your playthroughs. I've done it in the first couple episodes, I've done it sporadically throughout the series, and you know what? I've reached a point where I can go into a lot more detail as to stuff I should have talked about in the previous video. But consider how tired I was in that video and how tired I am in this video. In fact, I'm recording this at around 1, and I have less than 17 hours to get this done. So I'm really cutting corners here. I mean, I'm really stretching the ball right now. Not as close as like some of the other things that I did at 20 morning, and then just hope that it got uploaded. Only one of them got uploaded when sort of behind schedule, but still uploaded on the thing, so it's all good. Now, what is this big advice I'm going to talk about? Well, as you probably have not already figured out by this time of the game, basically all hell is broken loose. All the Heartless have gotten stronger, and by stronger I mean their placements have been rearranged. There's certain enemies that start appearing more than others, and the whole farming for extra synthesizing items becomes even more of a pain, because once you finally figure out, oh, I know exactly where they spawn, only to find out there's just a whole bunch of dark balls waiting for you to try to kick your ass, but they fail to, because they are basically just shadows, only the shape of a ball. They don't really do that much damage unless you're in proud mode, where they would do a hell of a lot of big damage
at the end of the tunnel.
And yeah,
your grandma's story, right?
That's right.
What's the big tip I have?
We were together.
Well, one of the main tips is,
You know what's funny?
Going to get all the
I looked everywhere for you, but you were with me all along.
I strongly suggest you try to get the recommended synthesizing items.
Finally, we're together, Kyrie.
How do you know which synthesizing items you need?
Now, it's time to get Riku back.
You think it'll ever be the same again between us?
I did write down a paper of every single synthesizing item that you need.
When I turned into a Heartless, you saved me, remember?
The thing is, I decided to do it much more estimated.
I was lost in the darkness. I couldn't find my way.
Well,
as I stumbled through the dark, I started forgetting things. My friends, who I was, the darkness almost
over than
swallowed
5,
me.
then it would reach 0. So it would
But
be
then
the whole
I heard a
5 and 0
voice.
route
Your voice.
of
You
operations.
brought me back.
So,
I didn't want to just forget about you, Sora.
with that said,
I couldn't.
could
That's
you
it.
still farm for synthesizing items
Our hearts are connected.
even after all hell
and
has
the light
broken
from our
loose?
hearts broke through
The answer is
darkness.
yes, but it's a lot more
I
tricky
saw that light.
than before.
think
Another
that's
thing
what saved me.
that's tricky,
No matter how deep the
is,
darkness,
the inclusion
light
of
shines within.
the two
I
single
guess
boss
it's more
fights,
than
Kirk,
just a fairy
Zilza,
tale.
and the Phantom. I know I
Well,
did the.
let's go.
No, I said the first one incorrectly, but
can't
I'm
go.
not gonna.
Why not?
Don't
Because
know if I
it's
should correct
way too
myself, despite
dangerous.
having the official prime official
on,
strategy
Sora.
guide next to me.
We
which
made it this far by
I'll probably
sticking
lay
together.
down some.
You can't go alone.
Some bad rep
Kyrie,
review on it.
even
Just
if we're
here
apart,
because
we're not
I
alone
see no
anymore.
point making a video telling you
right?
how much a strategy guide is not up to
I
your
can't help.
expectations.
You'd kind of be in my way.
Especially when it's sometimes given, you know, you
Okay.
still have that expectation that maybe, just maybe,
You win.
there's some worth picking up, and then only to get it
Take
crushed down
this.
by someone who
It's my
wrote
lucky
a much
charm.
more
Be sure
extensive
to bring it back to
guide
me.
than you've ever found.
Don't
I'm
worry,
looking at
I
you,
will.
Persona 3 Fez. This one dude made
Promise?
this very comprehensive strategy guide. It was over.
Promise.
It was close to 300 pages worth, and it had the most immense of
Don't
details.
ever forget.
Even breaking it
Wherever you
down to the
go,
point where you
I'm
can
always
where
with you.
where this person literally broke down how are you able to max up every single social link within the given year. It was just amazing. It was just amazing. It was a really awesome guide. Just really well done. But what was I talking about again? Oh, okay, I keep going, segueing, and just tracking full fast. I know I have 50 minutes worth of talking, and I don't know when I started this, but I know around 1:45 I'm gonna stop talking. That's when I'm gonna do my. Well, see you guys in the next episode, and just be that, and then I'll just go into a weird ass ramble. By the time 1:50 passes by, I'll completely shut myself off, turn off the recording, and then hopefully by then all the things will be lined up and checked, and then it will go for the whole rendering process and blah 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 blah. You heard this song and dance, and if you haven't, then you probably haven't seen the previous episodes, which I highly recommend watching them. Although I'm starting to question some of their integrity, where you should probably just mute it and just watch it just to see the speed run type thing that I'm trying to do in under 15 hours, because that's probably the whole reason you're watching this, is mainly just to see me get these free trophies and seeing the process in which to get them. And the voice, despite the fact being an extra thing, you could just mute it, and it won't affect your viewing process in any way, shape, or form. It's not like I'm putting subtitles to everything I'm saying. That would just take way too long, which means, just the thought of translating myself through subtitles. My gosh, it's almost like watching a thick British accent, and then having the subtitles talk over it. I'm pretty sure that's like a Monty Python sketch. If not, then why was it a Monty Python sketch? I don't know. Oh no. I don't even know why I segued into Monty Python. Anyway, retracking back to the whole shit hits the fan thing. I did say this was going to be a lot more informative, since I'm pretty much well focused. The only reason why I'm much more well focused is probably because of the fact that I actually have the lights on. Because usually when I record these, it's in pitch black. But since I have the light on, because I thought I was like, oh, I'll just go for the strategy guide or something, and then I'm like, well, fuck, that's not how this shit works when I post commentaries. It's blind as fuck, and usually we'll just go into whatever is on my mind and stuff. I've been noticing that, not to go a bit off the tangent, but still talking about the series. I've been noticing there's been increased fluctuation. It's about 1% increase of people watching the videos. At least 5 people watched it. Of course, 3 to 4 days, which that surprises me to no end. And just this video itself will probably get close to 5 views just before uploading the second to last episode. So it is just remarkable to me. It's amazing. I mean, it just comes out of the blue but yeah. But enough getting excited for views that are still in the single digits, because that's basically what I get excited about. Anything that goes into double digits, I get double the excitement. But back to the informalities. I mentioned about the 2 optional bosses that come in here. There's Kirkzilza, and then there's Phantom. Kirkzilza, I'm not even gonna worry about that shit. The best advice I can give you is, before you go, probably you'll have a whole bunch of high potions and maybe a few elixirs in there. Probably throw in a mega potion in there, just because you're generous. You want to make sure everyone survives, technically it's all about you and your companions being jack shit to you, because they can just get knocked out and come back either half health or full health, depending on if you gave it that ability called Second Wind, which is only exclusive to Final Mix itself. But during your prerequisites, during your summoning thing, set it straight to Tinkerbell. Then right when the battle starts, you go straight to Tinkerbell. Now, the one thing I've noticed between Final Mix, at least this version on the PS3 and the regular version on the PS2, is that in the PS2, is that the PS2 version, the time in which like all magic and summoning is just canceled, so because you have to destroy a bunch of orbs in order to make sure you can use your magic again. And again, I've noticed how the timing, either I've gone super fast, or the process in which the magic, the non-magic sealant gets done. I forgot the true status ailment for it, where you can't use your magic. I know it was the actual status ailment during the Tales series, and it's not coming to me right now. But right when that happens, apparently it's a lot more slower in Final Mix. Like I said, maybe it's just me because I'm super fast. Like, even if I didn't have the prerequisites on it, the fact that the summoning thing is just right there in the bottom, and I can easily go to Tinkerbell just like that, because Tinkerbell is always my account. Genie. It's always like my third. Tinkerbell's using my third summoning. Anything? Third or fourth. It depends on if I actually went to Monstro and tried to get the water gem summoning gem in order to get Dumbo as being the third summoning. Otherwise, Tinkerbell's usually the third one, not fourth. So just a little interchangeability from right there then. But even then, it's super quick for me to go straight to Tinkerbell, because that's like the first thing I ever do. And of course I learned it from a little video tutorial in Kirksville for the PS2 too, and it was pretty awesome. And then for some reason that led to me finding out about this one LPer called Sonic Fan, who was basically doing LPs of Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Rechain Memories at the time, and the Kingdom Hearts 2 was Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. He was also playing other games like Eternal Sonata and of course 358, which he didn't exactly finish those. Well, he finished 358, but the amount of videos that are still up, it's very consistent. Some of them were either deleted or just weren't uploaded. I'm not too sure on that one. And then for Eternal Sonata, I think he was only about a third through the game, or at least halfway through the game. But I did not watch the rest of the series because I wanted to play the game for myself, and sure enough, I did not finish Eternal Sonata. I think what's even worse was during the time where I was trying to get a second PlayStation 3, because the first one just outright kaput on me. Even though when I sent it in, it was still fairly working, so I still could have gotten over it. But I still ended up getting a new version with a lot more gigabytes, and I'm not gonna say what I'm mainly using it for. Or let's just say during the nightlife. Like, if you're friends with me online, and of course it will be like 2 or 3 in the morning on the Pacific timeline, and you see that I'm just online, I am probably doing something that requires me to put more space on there. That's all I have to say on that. But anyway, back to Kirksville. One of the best strategies is just have Tinkerbell. Everything else is just making sure that you know when's the right time to dodge roll. Highly recommend using Thunder Ga when he's in that giant bubble just floating around, because you can only affect it with magic, and one of the easiest magics to do, although it takes up the most speed if you're playing between Fire Blizzard and Thunder, is in fact Thunder. Sure, you can use Fire, but it doesn't have that much damage, and sure, you can use it again. Again, that's still not showing no damage. Apparently, Thunder doesn't make so much more damage. Plus, there's a lot more long distance areas, and most likely to directly actually hitting it, hitting the target. So there's that. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward battle. I remember back when the old YouTube comments actually I was watching Shameless play Final Mix, where I was talking with more people, just giving them advice on how they could explore. And they greatly appreciate my advice on it. Which is basically for only without rambling. I'm just doing it as very constricted in other countries and back to characters, it actually equals up the time. Over. And I know what you're thinking, I got you something. I'm not going to keep telling you that I get too big of still waiting for Google, not using Google. You know what? Congratulations. Now and then I'll just be on my merry way. Probably wonder if I can again. Maybe I will. I'm not sure. But anyway, there was nothing else to say about the Phantom. The Phantom, however, if you have not gotten the 12 items that you would have got from the clock tower, and you just went through the first half of Halloween Bastion. Oh god, what a crossover. Oh no, Beast is in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Beast, Jack Skeleton, companions right beside me, yo. Anyway, after you complete the first, like go for Hallow Bastion, then you have to defeat the Phantom in order to basically open up the clock tower again, so that way you can go and get the rest of the items. So I highly suggest you have extra 12 hours of your time, or in-game time. Use that time to level grind, especially if you're playing it on Proud. No, literally. Spend that time level grinding. Just level grind, look at the time. Go to Olympic Coliseum. I'm sure there's a tournament open. Yeah, there is a tournament open. Go for that tournament. A couple times. Check your watch. Check the in-game timer. Looks like you can go to the tower. We'll go to the tower. Pick up your item. Go back to level grinding. Just do that for 12 hours. Because it's through in-game hours instead of actual hours. I feel like the process could have been a lot more better instead of wasting 12 hours just straight up level grinding. Which I know people have done that. I know I have. I probably wasted a total 50 hours level grinding or just Symphonia alone. And found a way to rack up over 300 hours on that game on itself, which is 3 times as many hours as I ever racked up on just Persona 3 Vets. So there's that. Okay. In Persona 3 Vets, not including the answer, which I barely went past that. So, I don't know. I don't know where I would. Just whatever. Well, anyway, those are the Phantom. The Phantom is actually simple, but it's again tedious as fuck. Well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It can get kind of repetitive. The fact that yes, you must go to the clock. You must use stop. Make sure you do that. I'm gonna assume every other time. Or when you see the clock start going again. It shouldn't be too fine. The first person who will go is gonna be Peter Pan, followed by the companion you have with you. Hopefully it's Donald. Just remember it's Donald. Don't be Goofy. No, don't use Goofy during the Pan. Use Donald. Why use Donald? Because I say so. The only time you use Goofy is if you're using MP Gift and just not give him and just de-equip the abilities that allow him to do like Goofy Tornado, Goofy Rocket, or Goofy something or other that's not Tornado. The best move Goofy has, because I don't like Goofy Rocket or Goofy the other attack, because it's only just one baser. And despite how much raw power it has, the Goofy Tornado does more consecutive damages. And since all three of them are essentially take up the same amount of MP, it's much rather just have Tornado equipped than have the other ones just one click. So at least in this situation, you just have to output Tornado and just having people pick it. You're gonna have Goofy in your party. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to have that extra challenge slightly, since you're gonna have MP gift on, then have Goofy part, but you must always have Peter Pan in your party because that's the only way to go to Colorado. Because Tinkerbell's a bitch and will only talk to Peter Pan. Fuck you, Tinkerbell. Yet apparently we can still summon your ass. Still, fuck you, Tinkerbell. Well, both literally, metaphorically, and also very sexually. For reasons. I don't really have to. Whoops, did I say just say that out loud? Right. So, of course, there isn't much for saying that. Some other things that also pop up. I remember like during the time I was like getting so excited. I'm like, I should talk about the mushrooms, the different types of mushrooms, the mushrooms, the fungus thing, and then I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? There's the mushroom that wants your magic. There's the fungus that basically wants your critical hits. Otherwise, you're not gonna get shit from them. So better have that critical plus equipped, and hopefully you have a Keyblade that does a sling of critical blows. Otherwise, you're not gonna get shit from that. For those motherfuckers. Apparently, it takes about 9 clean hits. Like 9 clean hits. And only if the last clean hit is a finisher. Finisher, apparently, with a critical thing. So, yeah, just. And then you have the ones where basically you try to keep it up in the air as long as you can, and then there's that. I never tried that, and then that gives you a special optional item, which you don't need in order to get the item trophy. So rest in mind. I think there was like 2 items that are optional to get, and they won't affect you getting the trophy that says, hey, you got all the equipment items. And that's the one that the one that you keep up in the air, and that pink motherfuckers. Both of them you must have a total of, what is it, 100 tech after the hit tick, and then they will give you a special item that I don't know what the fuck it does. I've never seen the item before, nor do I ever plan to. I've already platinumed the game. I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, actually. I think so. I'm not sure. I'm trying. It's such a blur to me. Okay, so, yeah. As far as going to St. Siege or Hallow Bastion, the only thing that you basically could do in this situation, there isn't much to say about redoing the Hallow Bastion besides the gummy ship trip to back there. Yeah. Everything else is just go straight to the room and to fight the giant behemoth. That's behind the door. And that's it. So there goes all of my infirmities as of today. Let's move on to some other games related stuff. One thing that that apparently happened was Haley Joel Osment, who's basically co-starring in The Spoils of Babylon, which I highly recommend everyone to watch that. That finest way to watch it is an amazing show based on a best-selling book where the author looks strangely like he's being played by Will Ferrell. You know, and all of the characters look strangely like people who have starred in other stuff. Like this one, like the main character, Devin Morehouse. He looks so much like Tobey Maguire, and his basically sister-in-law looks so much like Kristen Wiig, the voice of Lola from the Looney Tunes show. And then you have this one dude who looks like Haley Joel Osment, whose character will appear in episode 4, even though you saw a quick little bit in the first episode. And oh my gosh, there's just a sense of uncanny valley as you're watching it. It's just amazing. Just such a dramatic thing, and a lot of stuff happened already within the span of just 3 episodes. Oh my gosh, just amazing. Now back to some other commercial stuff. With 2.5, hopefully hopefully the English localization that will come out of the US and UK. Because those are the only 2 places where I know stuff is happening. They're usually the same area, even though one's region 1 and one's region 2. I keep forgetting what the regions are called, because I keep buying stuff that's all region 3. I know, I've been on J-List. I bought something that was like region 3. It was amazing. I should really watch it sometime, but I can't tonight. I'm too busy working on this. Which is gonna be difficult as of next week, because next week is when semester starts, and despite the fact that I have less classes to worry about, so I have to worry about the next job I have to work on, because I work for them, and they want me to work on the days in which I don't have school. So basically my only window of opportunity, again, is Thursday nights, because Friday I don't have to do shit. Because the other days where I'm working already fills up the quota, kind of, with Friday being sort of a special day, but Saturday is when I have to wake up like any other normal day. And Sunday I already kind of do. And I was delayed when I could not break out of something to have my own sleeping pattern. So there's that. I'm starting back to the whole abuse. I started questioning, like, okay, what? I think it has something to do. Well, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm pretty sure I'm way off the mark. But for those of you who don't know, if you look up. I'm gonna call it my ultimate code. You notice that ultimate escape. And during that I basically just, it's a form. And to be honest, I'm not much of a forum guy. I mean, sure, I know. where I treated that as almost like Skype, and then of course, despite having Skype, I've never been on Skype before. I'm afraid of what's going to happen once I open it, and I've yet to open up the Skype that's part of Windows 8 Skype. So that'll be interesting heroes in the hashtag type of thing. Another random thing I'm doing, computer-wise, is despite the fact that I barely have any games in my Steam account that I would play, I'm just putting a whole lot of like non-Steam games on there. There was a couple I put on there. I put in Monster Class, which I'm still in the first of the 3 chapters. I need to get back to playing that. I just need some time. I'll probably do it while during the time it's rendering because I can't just fall asleep while this is rendering. Rendering. It doesn't work, and sometimes it ends up with videos just not being uploaded right, or at least uploaded too late and they end up going over. Because I don't want the same thing again. Another thing that we're trying to do is I'm trying to get back into playing television games a lot. Now before I talk about tomorrow, I need to get a little bit close to the mic, so if you hear any heavy breathing, I'm so sorry in this situation. I mentioned this before. The reason why I decided to do these recordings at night, not because I had, well, besides the fact that some nights don't have the ability to do it, but also the fact that in the nighttime it's actually very, very quiet. Right, and I don't have to raise my voice up too loudly. Plus, I can be as close to the mic as possible, or at least as close as I can be, and still be very articulate, very outspoken. And if not, then I'll just increase the volume of the standard effect, or at least as high as I possibly can. It's so nice you can still barely hear my voice, or at least still barely know a thing. And some also like, you know what? I don't care. It's on time restraint. I'll wait for it to happen, and then it's a whole thing. I've gotten used to it. Most because of that, I don't really ask for feedback. I've noticed this a lot. Sort of drag away from there.
This should help.
There. Apparently, even my neighbors are really at this time. So there's that. But anyway, back to the whole thing. I don't really ask for feedback, to be honest. If you haven't been noticing, I don't really ask for feedback. I don't ask people to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't even say it as even a jokey matter. I don't tell people like my videos. I don't tell people that this is my videos. I don't tell them anything. I just go about my daily way, and then I just get, and then numbers of views that are not my own. Definitely not my own. So I cannot. It's common knowledge that you're not supposed to watch any videos. Yeah, it's common knowledge you don't watch videos. I kind of do want to watch my videos before I upload them, so that we don't end up with any errors or flaws or anything like that. But when you reach the I've reached the point where none of you actually comment on the videos at all. Oh, it's because of the whole Google Plus implementation thing. Have I not reached the state of popularity that people willing to give me a Google Plus integrated YouTube account, in order to post on their video like that. But you know, I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about the feedback. I'm still gonna have to upload mine. I'm gonna try to see if I can try to get some videos up. But I do know that on the first day of February, it's where it's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be the series finale of this series. It's gonna sad to see it go. And I'm gonna keep telling people, fuck no, I'm not gonna replay. Fuck no, I'm not gonna replay Chain Memories. Fuck no. No, I have a comparison video to do, but it's very difficult to try to do anything. So, I'm taking my sweet ass time on the editing thing. It's just. Sorry, it's just weird, like wobbles. quabbles. You can tell when I'm sleepy when I just start spewing nonsense into the microphone, and it's not even that point where I'm like, I'm sorry, that just got lost. I'm noticing those 60 times where if I can give you an update of I guess, the shelves. Because I think I mentioned this before that I want to take care of my shelves. I want to put all of my disc-related items together on one shelf, and all my book-related items on another shelf. So basically, a whole situation. And of course, it took basically the whole day, and it's been over a week. And I just love what I done with it. It's just amazing what I did with it. And of course, during that time, I was just rewatching like Undefeated season 2, just because you know, why not? And it was just fun fact. Another thing that I realized is Haganai. This was one of the few animes where apparently it was a harem series, and it never crossed my mind at all. I mean, you guys know how an harem series is set up. It's usually one dude and a bunch of chicks. Some with unnatural proportions, and some that seem natural, but they can be very psychotic, or have very sexual attentions in some way, shape, or form, and usually it boils down to who that dude get along with, and then they just end up just ending very open-ended, and then you pull in your own conclusions. Which then I say, you know what? Can I watch a harem series that actually has a decent conclusion? I mean, I know I watched Teaching Me What I Found the Band which I can forgive purely for nostalgia purposes. But could you give me a harem series that actually has a conclusion? And then I saw School Days, and I sort of killed it. Granted, I saw Planet, and that just felt like, oh, well, I would say fuck you, but well done. You made something satisfying while simultaneously making me feel like it should not have gone that route. I mean, it's not as bad as School Days. I mean, fuck School Days. The only way I would rewatch School Days is if I'm watching with someone who has never seen School Days, and just see them. Just see the reaction go from, hey, this is actually pretty funny, to okay, this is pretty fucked up, to, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? And then by the end they're like, like a mixture of laugh, fake crying. And then they just go watch High School DxD. Whatever is 2009. I do know that. Well, it's gonna be. It's 2 seasons.
Give me strength.
Well, neither for you season 3 DVD, which is the most polarizing season so far. I mean, there's a side that loves this series, loves it. There's the other side that hates it. They both agree that it was short. Short? Only 13 minutes. Are you kidding me? Why is that whole line special? Oh, that just oh.
Get me straight.
Serious? There better be some losers better features on there. But in all honesty, I'm most excited for Adventure Type Season 3 NDV, which is literally if I discount season 5 and we're so close to finishing up season 2. I think we'll finish up February, or go to a spring hiatus and things back. That's just how it works. That's just how it do. You don't have a bunch of chocolate bunches and it's kicking it over you. I'm still not over the fact that they completely neglect like Eddie exists. They clearly neglect Eddie's existence. Season 2 on, they completely neglected that he existed. That kind of hurts me a bit. It really does. I don't care how much fun you're having on set. Just acknowledge, just once, that you used to have a character named Eddie. Something happened. He moved away. Something along those lines. Something that needs closure. God damn it. That's it. That is the thing that is like something that is so main, like the main theme of my The majority of them, they have closure. They have an ending. Now you can argue the potential VA series does feel open-ended and could technically stick to video. Who made that argument? It didn't feel like it was very open-ended to me. And really, in no way will I go out and God damn it, Tenji became part of the channel. And the fact that I said that, and the fact that I probably watched an episode probably says a lot about me, but I probably don't even know. Like, I remember the heartbreak episode. I remember it. Come on! I was watching Grandma too. Because I remember watching classic Toonami. With my grandma back in elementary school. Free-made show. Come on! Pop up. This is it! During your time slot was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Tenchi Muyo. And I do remember watching the Tenchi movies, especially Tenchi. What was it? Tenchi Forever. Yeah, I think it was called Tenchi Forever.
Now let's go and seal that big keyhole.
Sora, you did it.
I barely remember watching Tenchi Universe, but I'm pretty sure if I rewatched it now, I probably would remember those episodes. Tenchi in Tokyo, sort of a hit or miss, but I don't care. It's fucking Tenchi Muyo. So I probably just might because it has Tenchi Muyo on it. That is a bad way. That's a bad thinking point. Because if you're buying stuff just by name association, and you don't care how good or bad it is, you need to straighten up your priorities. So for me, I need to straighten out my priorities. I probably would only buy it because the name association. That should not be a thing. I should not be buying something just because of the name itself. That is not something you should live by.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
It doesn't work the other way.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together.
It shouldn't work that way unless...
Besides, I couldn't forget you, even if I wanted to.
What's that supposed to mean?
That saying, I can't figure.
Hurry! Come and close the keyhole!
So I'll just leave that open-ended.
Good luck.
And we're sort of winding down a bit, so I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. But I hope you're enjoying this episode. This is a lot more lighthearted episode. Sure, it has some much more darker themes. Sure, the behemoth is gonna go down. So he already went down. Now we have to seal the key hill already. Okay, it's gonna be amazing. And then we get on the gummy ship. Go through the hardest gummy ship route in existence, which is sort of the reason why I spent that time in the beginning, trying to soup it up, trying to make sure it all looked well. Which I've mentioned this before, but I am slowing down. Now, I'm slowing down enough where I can plan stuff. Like I said, this wasn't a full speed run, but I am getting it done in less than 10 hours. So, there's that. Less than 10 hours, people. Less than 10 hours. We can get all done. Because at this point, once you get done with editing, like right before you reach the final the final save point, where you go through the ending, through the end game boss fights. Right? If you have extra time, I mentioned it before, use that extra time to basically level grind. Do it until the last hour. Do it right before the end game timer is 14 hours. And then, you must go there and then go on the pace. So, I would say dial it back a little bit. Don't do it at the 14 hours unless you're at a good hit range, because it will take a while, and you don't want the time to go to waste. Because you decide, oh, I can go there right after. I would say go in there 10 minutes before the 14-hour mark at most, and just do it from there. Okay? That will be my last insightful tip for this episode. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. So I know I did recording this. I'm glad I had other stuff to talk about that was Kingdom Hearts related, non-Kingdom Hearts related. So insightful, non-insightful, you can interpret it any way you want, but please don't interpret it in the wrongest of ways, especially if it's very off tangent, and you have no evidence to back it up whatsoever. That is poor reporting skills. And after watching Befriend 2, you should all be a smart. So, and now we go to the rambling hour. This is where I try to fill up time until the thing comes out. So, what is there to talk about? Well, like I said, I have this friend. Now, unlike the previous track, this one was done by Prime. And if most people know, wireless track record is more of a hit or miss between. I didn't do that. This is sort of different than other contracts, is because this one decides to do a copy paste rating game for commercial. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, if it's a straight copy paste, you get I got the film. My friend Casey, aka Sonic South 2. Dude, there's a full-on comparison and these very big similarities. Dude, almost to the point that because of these similarities, there's what became a sort of a big concept. Sort of becoming more of its names. For example, most of the text is mostly relating to Kingdom Hearts for the PlayStation 2, and not Final Mix itself. Sure, it mentions Final Mix enemies and stuff like that during the quote unquote bestiality section, and also in the secret bosses section. But when it mentions the difficulty settings, it only mentions normal and expert instead of the beginner